I'm Shelly Turner with the Builderall team. In this video, I'm going to show you how to work with pop-ups inside of Cheetah. Now, there's one place that we go to create the pop-ups, but then there's several ways that we can use the pop-ups. So I'm going to show you first how we create our pop-ups. So I'm inside of Cheetah, and I went to edit my site. These are my two pages inside my website, and I'm just going to go to the area that says Edit Pop-ups over here on the left-hand side. So I'm going to click Edit Pop-ups. And as you can see, I don't have any pop-ups showing right now. So we're going to go ahead and click here to create a new pop-up. And let's go ahead and name it. I'll name it First Pop-up, and then I'll click Save. And so now I have a pop-up created, but there's nothing in there. So I have to start editing. So I'm going to click Edit Pop-up. And now this works exactly as if you were editing a web page. So I'm going to put some information in here, including adding a panel, some text, maybe an image, and then we'll move on from there. All right, now that I've got my pop-up designed the way I want it designed, I can just click Save, and then that's fine, and that will publish that pop-up. Now let's look at the many different ways that we can use this pop-up inside of our website. So I have to go back to my website overview page. So I'm just going to click right here to go back. And now there's a couple things I can do. So right here on the home page, I can actually activate that pop-up to pop up on that home page. So let's see how we can do that. So I click these triple dots right here, and I click Settings. And in the settings, I'm going to scroll down, and I'll find where it says Pop-up Settings, and I'm going to click that, and that expands that area. And then I can choose which pop-up I want to use on desktop, and if I want to use a pop-up on mobile. So on desktop, I just click the down arrow and choose First Pop-up. And now I get to decide, when does this pop-up happen? Does it happen in a time-based pop-up where I set the time for it to pop up after 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds? Do I want it to pop up when they try to exit out of the page by going up to that X button or taking their mouse to click a different tab? Or do I have it pop up in a scroll-based pop-up where if they scroll down the page, when they get to a certain point, the pop-up will appear? So let's go ahead and do a time-based pop-up. And I'm going to make it pop up after 15 seconds. And then we'll leave the mobile so it doesn't have the pop-up. And then I'll click Save. And now that pop-up is actually saved and ready to go. But one of the things I need to remember is that the pop-up setup is not a part of a page. It's a separate thing on the top level of the website. So in order to make sure that everything is ready to go and the pop-up is connected correctly, you're going to click the Publish button here on the website overview page. So I'm going to click Publish and OK. And now that page is actually published and the pop-up is updated with the changes that we made. So let's take a look and see if it pops up after 15 seconds. So I'm going to click this little triple dot and I'm going to go to Website. And now we should see after about 15 seconds that this pops up. And remember, you can set it to pop up when it hits a certain time, when they scroll down and hit a certain point, or if they try to exit the page. So we should be pretty close to pop up now, and there it is. So there's our pop-up working right on the page settings. But now let's look at a couple of other places that we can set up our pop-up. So first of all, let's take the pop-up off the page. So I'm going to go back to my website settings, and I'm going to click the triple dots on that page. I'm going to go to Settings. I'm going to go down to where it says Pop-up and click the Pop-up Settings. And then right here where it says Desktop, I'm going to click the down arrow and No Pop-up Selected, and then Save. And then because I changed something not exactly on a page but at the website level, I need to go ahead and click Unpublish and then Publish. And that will catch that change and make sure that it sees that change when you go to the public page. All right, so that is how you get the page pop-up turned on and how you turn it off. Now let's go into the page itself, and I'm going to click Edit Page. And we're going to see a couple more ways that we can use pop-ups. The first way is to actually attach a pop-up to a button. So if I was going to attach a pop-up here, I could actually click on the button, and we'll get that mini toolbar. And then I click the Set Link on it. And when I click the Set Link, I have the option of, if you go down here, I can click Pop-up. And then right here, I can click First Pop-up. When I click Save, and then I click Save here, that button is now configured so that it is ready for someone to click it and it will show the pop-up instead of going to the checkout where it was connected before. So let's go ahead and look at the live version and we'll see if it really does do that. So we're going to go to the live page, we're going to refresh it to get the new change, and then here's that button and I'll click it and there's our pop-up. So that's another way that you can activate a pop-up, is set it on a button so when they click the button it activates the pop-up. All right, now let's look at the image. We've got an image right here of a person, and we can actually set a pop-up on an image. So if I click on the image and I get my mini toolbar, I can actually click right here to set link, and I have all the same options that I did with the button. So if I click pop-up and then I click first pop-up and then click save, now I have to click the big save, and that saves it on my page, and I click that's fine to publish. And now if I click that picture, it will actually pop up. So let's test that out. I'm going to go to the live page and we will refresh to get the new changes, and then right here on this image, if I click it, I get the pop-up. So that's another way to set a pop-up on your page. Now let's look at a third way to set a pop-up. So if I go back to my editor, if I go all the way to the bottom, I've got a menu here. And this menu links to the legal information, terms of use, privacy policy, and GDPR. But I could also, instead of sending them to a page, I can send them to a pop-up. So if I click on the menu and get that mini toolbar, I go to the configure items. If I click that, I'm now able to configure the menu items. So let's say we wanted GDPR to go to a pop-up. Well, to do that, all I do is click that little set link icon. And I have all the same options I had before. So I can do pop-up and first pop-up and save, and then save again. And now I'm going to do the big save. And I'm going to go ahead and publish. And now it should be ready to go, and I can check the live version. So if I go to my live page and I click refresh to capture all of the changes that I made, and I'm going to scroll down and we put that on the GDPR. So if I click GDPR, it shows our pop-up. So let's review all the different places that you can add your pop-ups. If we go back to the editor, we know that we can set up the pop-up by going over here to the left-hand side and clicking Edit Pop-ups. Then once we've made our pop-up, we can add a pop-up to a page by clicking the triple dots and going to Settings. And then at the bottom of that page, we can click Pop-up Settings, and we can configure our pop-up for desktop and mobile. And then the next place that we can go is into Edit a Page. So we're going to edit this page. And we can add a pop-up to an image. We can add a pop-up to a button, or we can add a pop-up to a menu item. So those are the ways that you can handle pop-ups inside of Builderall working with your Cheetah website builder.